Hi folks, how you doing? This is Iqbal with NVIDIA Daily Analysis. In this video, we'll take a look at NVIDIA stock price movement for today and we'll review our assessment for before earnings using technical charts and fundamentals. I know there is lots of excitement and fear before earnings that can move NVIDIA one way or the other. But we'll try to factor in those variables when we analyze technical charts in this video. Now, let's get started. You see NVIDIA stock chart for today on your screen. NVIDIA opened at 937. It made a high 952. It made a low 934 and it closed at 947. That is 2.49% up. So another good day for NVIDIA. But it is still ranging between 919 and 962, my two levels that I went over with you on Friday. So I had the feeling that Nvidia should be trading between these two levels on Monday and also on Tuesday. But I still think that Nvidia should not be able to break all-time high before the earnings. And the all-time high was 974. So in other words, Nvidia should not go above 974 before earnings. And that's my judgment. Let's see what happens. So now moving on, last 5 days, Nvidia up 5.82%. Last 1 month, Nvidia up 19%. Last 6 months, Nvidia still up 89%. And the trend is still up. And after earnings, we expect Nvidia should go up further. So regarding my position, I did not make any transaction today. I still have Nvidia shares bought at 921, 925 and 945 on Friday and Thursday last week. I plan to still hold it until the earnings and will decide based on the earning numbers should I sell it or keep it. Now let's take a look technical chart. You see 90-day hourly interval chart for Nvidia on your screen and also the MACD chart. MACD on Friday started going down, but today it did not go further down. So at this point, it's going in parallel to the zero line, but the good thing is I do not see any negative momentum on the Nvidia stock at this point. So I'm guessing tomorrow it should continue to go up or do sideways. I do not see a major drop coming on Tuesday at this point. Now let's take a look 30 minutes chart. 30 minutes chart is also telling the same story. On Friday, MACD went below zero line, but it started going up and trying to gain more momentum today. So the trend is up. So tomorrow, same situation. Either it will go up or do some sideways. Now let's take a look RSI. RSI in a 30 minutes chart is at 56. You see what we expected on Friday after RSI went down, probably about 30. I made a comment that RSI should go up on Monday. So this is what exactly happened today. At this point, it's 55. So RSI is not telling much what's going to happen tomorrow. Now let's take a look at Fibonacci levels. You see Fibonacci levels on your screen. I selected the same highest and the lowest point, that is 962 and 762. The next level of support is 919. As we observed on Thursday and Friday, market did not go further below 919 and it bumped up from there. At this point, Nvidia is trading around 948. The next level of resistance is at 962. And after that is 974, and that is all-time high. So I'm guessing it should get a pullback from 962 or 974 before it breaks those levels, before the earnings. And at the same time, the chances of Nvidia going below 919 tomorrow is low, but anything can happen, right, before the earnings. So fear or excitement is still in the market. Uh, but having said that, I do not expect Nvidia to go below 900 at this point before the earnings. But most probably it should be trading between 919 and 974 level, the all-time high before the earnings. Now, let's take a look news regarding Nvidia. You see the news regarding Nvidia on the left side of your screen. The very first news that I wanted to share with you is this one that says Nvidia likely to report a strong quarter. Morgan Stanley. And the reason why they think that way is the Blackwell transition. So more and more companies are using the Blackwell from Nvidia. For example, take a look Dell. So Dell announces new servers supporting Nvidia Blackwell chip. So that's a good thing. So Nvidia Blackwell chip is getting more attention in the overall high-tech market. So another price target increase I see today that is from this guys. Barclays maintains overweight on Nvidia raises price target to 1100. So the question of the day is this one. How big the beat would be, whether it could be more than 10% or less than 10%. So that will decide the future of Nvidia stock price after the earnings. Let me show you for a few seconds the earnings history. You see this file on your screen. The last probably one, two, three, four, last four cycle, right? On average, Nvidia was able to beat expectation 0.19, that is 19%. And if we go one quarter also in the past and take into that account, and that gives 17%. And that's one data point. Based on this data point, we can hope that Nvidia should be able to beat earnings by more than 10%. Let's take a look another data point, and that is TSMC earnings. Take a look last 3 quarters earnings beat. Last quarter is 4.84%, and before that is 6.62%. Focus on these 2 quarters at least. And before that, it was 596%, and that could be an outlier. I guess we should ignore that. And I want you to focus on the latest quarter versus the prior quarter before that. So 6.62 versus 4.84. So the latest quarter, we saw that earnings beat came lower than one quarter before. Okay, so if you use that data point to predict what Nvidia can report, let's take a look. In the last quarter, Nvidia reported 11% earnings beat. If Nvidia reports lower than that, using the same behavior what we noted for TSMC, then we can think that maybe Nvidia can beat the earnings probably about 8 or 9%, right? Even if that is a good earnings beat, but that won't be a good enough to boost Nvidia stock too high. So in order for Nvidia stock to get a surge after the earnings beat, I mean the big surge, Nvidia should be able to beat earnings by more than 10% and also should beat the revenue guidance. Now, moving back to the Nvidia news. So another price target increase is from Bard that raises the price target to 1200. And another one that is from this guy, I don't know how to pronounce it, but instead of raising the price target, they lowered it from 1100 to 1050. And another one that reduced the price target, that is this guy, Stifle, from 1085 to 910. So this tells me some analysts started reducing the price target for Nvidia as well. So it's a mixed analysis regarding Nvidia's stock price target today. So this tells me there is some kind of fear overall in the market that Nvidia may not be able to beat earnings with a heavy margin or with a big margin. I guess that's all about Nvidia news for today. Let's take a look at other AI stocks. You see other AI stocks on your screen. Starting from SoundHound that got the major increase today, that is 8%, NVIDIA 2.5%, SMCI 1.81%, Avago 1.34%, and Palantir is down today 0.64%. So majority of the AI stocks are up today, and that's a good sign, and that tells that more excitement versus fear in the market at this point before the Nvidia earnings. So regarding the economic data, as I mentioned on Friday, not much coming up before the earnings. You see, Tuesday tomorrow, no major data coming, and Wednesday we have one important event, and that is this guy, and that is the minutes of FOMC meeting that happened early this month. But I do not expect they would say anything different what they said in the meeting early this month. So overall, no major data coming. So one less variable to worry about before the earnings. So that's all about Nvidia stock analysis for today and the assessment before the earnings. If I summarize today's discussion, thank you so much for watching. Talk to you more tomorrow. Take care. I have this poll on my channel that has a question that says if Nvidia can be able to beat earnings by more than 10%. Please try to vote this. We'll see what majority of the people think.